Walt Disney Pictures presents its all-new 30th full-length animated motion picture.
Is anyone here?
Mama, there's a girl in the castle.
Good.
Girl!
The classic story of Beauty and the Beast. He was a lonely beast, cursed by a mysterious spell, and she was the beautiful young girl who could set him and his kingdom free.
She's the one! She has come to break the spell!
They were two complete opposites
I don't want to have anything to do with him.
She is being so difficult.
until something wonderful happened.
There's something sweet
Straighten up.
and almost kind.
Show me the smile.
But he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined. And now he's dear.
You look so
and so unsure.
stupid.
I wonder why I didn't see it there before.
It's a story filled with fun,
Oh, I beg your pardon.
adventure,
Sacre bleu! Invaders!
and dozens of wonderful new Disney characters.
Keep it down.
Featuring 6 new songs from the Academy Award-winning composer and lyricist of The Little Mermaid. This holiday season, share the fun, the magic, and the music of an entertainment event you'll never forget. Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Continuing on with the Disney Renaissance, we have Beauty and the Beast. As a matter of fact, you know how I talked about how The Rescuers Down Under was not quite the success that Disney had hoped for. Well, this one exceeded expectations. Matter of fact, when going into production on Beauty and the Beast, they saw how The Rescuers Down Under performed. The budget was scaled way, way back. Matter of fact, the budget to Beauty and the Beast was only $25 million approximately. And over its run would gross $425 million. Now, that's probably a figure of re-releases and so on. This one was directed by Kirk Wise and Gary Trousdale, who were coming off the success that they had had down at the Florida Animation Studio with a little short film called Cranium Command that they had directed for the Disney parks, Epcot Center, I believe. And they were brought in as acting directors. Because there needed to be a director to fill the seat, but Disney did not have one at the time. So Jeffrey Katzenberg named them acting directors. And they took on this project, and wow, if this is going to be your first big project, what a bang to go in with. Because up until this time, this was the most successful Disney animated film. So much so that it won the Golden Globe for Best Picture. How about that? And it was also nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards of 1992. However, it didn't win the Academy Awards. It did win the Golden Globes. The Silence of the Lambs won the Academy Award that year. However, now, if you watch the Academy Awards, you now see Best Animated Film category. Thank you, Beauty and the Beast, for putting that on the map. And this was also probably one of the first Disney films to use to have a popular single. And what I mean, like, there was, like, whatever the song, one of the songs was in the film, a pop singer would come in and sing the song and make it a radio released single. And of course, Beauty and the Beast had Peabo Bryson and Celine Dion singing Beauty and the Beast, the title song. And it won several Grammy Awards and numerous awards to count musically. Matter of fact, in case you don't know what these are the picture disc albums available on vinyl. They're quite expensive, but they're highly collectible things. Yes, they are records. I do have the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack on MP3 and CD, but I've burned it to CD. But anyway, yeah, Beauty and the Beast is probably one of my personal favorites of the Disney Renaissance, because I do remember seeing it in its first run at the theater. It was at a time when I started going back, when I muscled up the courage to go back to the movie theaters, because for a while I was actually scared to go into a movie theater, but parents took me and my brother to see Beauty and the Beast when it originally played. And still to this day, it holds up. I do not think there was really necessarily a need for a live action remake, but I'm not the Walt Disney Company, and they're going to make the movies that they want to make. As a matter of fact, now they're making Aladdin, turning it into a full-scale live-action production. And I think it's mostly because, like Beauty and the Beast, they turned, and I think Beauty and the Beast was the first one to do this, is where they turned Beauty and the Beast to a full-blown live-action Broadway musical. And so I think that's why, because of the success of like Les Miserables, which came out last 2010s, the success of that being a successful Broadway show, I think Disney got the idea churning that, hey, we're turning our movies into Broadway shows, now we're turning them into live action movies and see how they turn out. In which I don't think there was really any need for it. I think this story still works. I think you could show it to anybody today and they're still enchanted by it. But yeah, it's like I said, it's the Walt Disney Company. They make the movies that they want to make. I have no say so. I just go to the movies, I just watch them, okay? If I choose not to see them, I will stay away from them. And but that's another issue on the live action. That's got kind of a sour taste in some people's mouths, the live action version, because of the homosexual references, but that's another time. Okay, but this is the original Disney's Beauty and the Beast. This was also one of the few Disney films that saw the light of day in an IMAX theater. Matter of fact, this was probably the first testing ground for films being played in IMAX theaters, Hollywood films. And it came out, I think, in 2002. I think it was in 2002 where Disney re-released Beauty and the Beast to the IMAX format, and they added a whole brand new sequence They added a whole brand new song to the film, and they extended it by, I'm going to say, about 7 minutes or so. It was a sequence called Human Again. Now, I'm not sure, I do not have the signature Blu-ray edition. What I have is the Diamond Edition Blu-ray. And with the Diamond Edition Blu-ray, it has 3 cuts of this movie. I chose to watch the theatrical version. Like I said, that was part of my rules. I said the theatrical versions and no direct-to-video sequels. And of course, Beauty and the Beast did have its share of direct-to-video sequels, and I think there's at least 1 or 2, and I think they were Christmas themed. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it has 3 different versions of the movie. It has the 2002 IMAX version with the Human Again sequence in it. It has the original theatrical cut, along with the rough cut version, which was actually a rough. It wasn't a rough cut, but it was the final cut. But it was the version that they debuted at the New York Film Festival, that they showed to the New York Film Festival out of competition. And by that, what they did was they did the same thing what they did with the Little Mermaid, and showing the audience in where the film wasn't complete. It had pencil stuff still in pencil test form. There wasn't a complete sound mix, but it had mostly everything in it. And this was a real gamble. Matter of fact, Don Hahn said that they were sweating taking the film to this place. And when they played the film, everybody was in awe of what they saw. And when it came to the sequence of Be Our Guest, after Be Our Guest, they stood up and applauded. And then after the film, the entire film, they stood up and applauded again. Cheering like you would for Star Wars. That's how big it was with them. But they knew that the final say-so would be the audience, and it ended up being it was the most successful animated film at that time. I think what Wikipedia shows is 425 million gross. Now that's probably including the IMAX releases as well, like total release after re-releases. They also re-released it in 3D, which wasn't as successful as The Lion King, which they had done just before, but it did see another theatrical run then in 2016, I believe it was. No, it was 2012, I'm sorry. 2012. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, it still holds up. It's the tale as old as time. It's the tale as old as time, and what the tagline is. And matter of fact, I've shown the poster, and they use that for the tagline. It's just, I don't know what else to say about it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, Disney's Beauty and the Beast. This is the 3rd film in the Disney Renaissance. And of course the next one would be Aladdin. So we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So stay tuned for here on the Disney Renaissance Marathon. See you later.